Hello friends, and welcome back to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you for joining me today. It has been a minute and I'm so happy to be back sewing. Y'all may notice I have two new things here. I have the laser light. We're trying this out. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I don't think that's in my way there of anything, but we're going to try. I think I have it lined up. It's hard to keep it on that center line there, but I don't know. So we may have to do some adjusting in the process of sewing to keep it there, but that's what we're doing. And I also have a new mic that I'm trying out. So guys, let me know if anything's wrong with the sound other than me sounding nasally, because that's just how it is right now. The quilt that we are doing is the Sunbeam quilt. This is in the Fat Quarters by the Dozen It's So Emma book. I think this is the second one, but that's the picture on the front of the book if you would like to join us. This is not a tutorial. We're just coming along and chit-chatting and sewing together. Now, I did go ahead and y'all will see I have new boxes too. I went ahead and got these boxes because they're not really bigger, they're longer. I have a shelf behind you guys that I'm moving all of my project boxes to, and I purchased a few of these just to see if they would work better because they're longer and that shelf is deep and maybe not so wide, but I'll get more on my shelf this way. I do have most of my fabrics cut. I did not cut my accent because I'm not going to be using that today. I did cut all but 3 of my fat quarters. I thought I had a second pack of this reproduction fabric, but I could not find it on my shelf. That's not to say that I haven't put it somewhere else and just haven't found it. But all of my background sashing and border, I have not finished cutting these down into little blocks, but I figure I'm probably not going to get much more than this done anyway. So we'll use these up until we run out. I don't know how long I'll be with you guys tonight because y'all know, y'all can hear, I've still got the stuff. I don't know what it's called. We'll just use our famous word that I like so much from Vivian Tries, the fungolitis. I'm fighting with that and it's just not going away. So we are going to be making, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the block that we're making. It's called a Sunbeam block. And each Sunbeam block takes 2 fat quarter sets, and you'll know what I mean if you're sewing along with us. The picture is right above it. You'll see the set. But right now what we're going to be doing is making 48. Let's see what it's calling it. It's not calling it anything. But what we'll do is we will take one of our background squares and we'll put it on top and bottom corner opposite one another. And we will be using the laser light to do that. The laser light that I'm using is the straight one. I don't know if you can see it here. No, you can't see it here. The one, it is just a straight line. My sewing machine does have a laser light pinpoint. It pinpoints. This laser light did come with a pinpoint, a straight line, and a cross. So if you're interested in this, I will have it down in the description. You can look at it. If you like my new project boxes that I'm trying out, I will have that also linked down in the description. And if you're a tuber and you need a new mic, I'll put this down in the description. You will be able to hear what I'm hearing. I will tell you the pros that I have found already. When you purchase it, it comes in this little box right here. And when you open this little box up, Now, I've already put the fuzzies on my mics, but my receiver piece goes right here and the other one goes here. When you take the two out that you need, they're automatically on and automatically connected. And I like that because I can't tell you how many times I've started a video and forgot to cut this part on. And also, this here has a magnetic piece to where you can put the little magnet on the inside. That's great because, guys, the other one that I've been using, I like it. It's a very high quality mic. But I've been using that for several years, and I think my cat got a hold of it and did something to it because now it doesn't work so well. And it worked fine when I did my unboxings for you guys last week. So, all the things, just know I always have links down in the description for you, so you can try things out that I use if you'd like to. And if you have questions about it, you can look it up and see exactly what it is. And no, I am not sponsored by any of these products. Yeah, I'm pressing out my fabric. It's got too many wrinkles in it for me. And my background fabric that I'm using, guys, it's a grunge, and I can't tell one side from the other. I'm going to say this is my front side. So we're going to start on that top one. It actually does not matter if it's top or bottom. As long as you do opposite corners, you can turn it whichever way at the end. But we are going to see how this works. Oh, I like this. I like how this, you are marked from one end to the other. Gotta make sure I get that in. And it really does help you keep it together. So how are y'all doing? I'm so happy, so happy to be here with you guys today. Y'all just don't know how happy I am. I imagine you can think how happy I am. I'm so happy. I am feeling better. I'm still, just having to take my time. I am resting a lot. I have only taken one day off from my regular job. What we call in the self-employed world, your normal W-2, your regular W-2 job. I have worked I only took one day off, and that was to go to the doctor. And of course, nothing was found. And my daughter works in a doctor's office, and she was telling me that a lot of people are having flu or COVID, and it's just not testing the first time they come in, but it does test like the second time they come in. Because normally a doctor will tell you if you're not feeling better in a couple days to come back. I just don't go back because I'm just, unless I'm having issues breathing, I don't go back, which I need to be doing my inhaler and my nebulizer and all that. But we're on the mend, guys. I'm on the mend. I feel like I'm on the mend. I'm excited about that. And I'm having to press these fabrics. I didn't press any of my background at all. But I pressed out my fat quarters. I did all of that. Actually, just right before I started recording today. That's how little I've done. You would think all the time I've been away not recording that I'd have a organized and together sewing room. I literally did not come in my sewing room almost the whole time that y'all didn't have videos. I wasn't in my sewing room. I just felt so awful. I would come in and just, some nights I wouldn't even eat. I would just come in, sit in my recliner and lean back and just cut. I listen to audiobooks now a lot, also on YouTube. and I was listening to audiobooks, and I'd just go to sleep. I'd sit there and listen and just go to sleep. It's like, well, you know, because I haven't been able to sleep in my bed because I can't lay down flat to sleep. Even though my bed elevates, I just can't sleep that way right now. So I've slept in the recliner. And my kitty cat's like that. One of them does anyway. Because when I'm in the recliner is when he gets in my lap. And my new little kitten, he don't care where I'm at. Wherever I'm at's where he's at. He don't care. But we are doing 48 of these. We have 48 A's and 48 B's, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just know we got a bunch of these little squares. I am so happy to be back in my sewing room. It's been way too long. You guys, to tell you how bad it was, I know y'all know I missed the sew along with Tammy and Alicia. I've still got to catch up on that. But I missed our quilt show. We had a local quilt show, and it was Friday and Saturday, and I felt so bad both days. I just could not go. I couldn't get up and go anywhere. I mean, I was coughing so hard. I was losing my breath. So, you know, it was a good idea for me to stay home and get better. And that I've done. And I've had several people say they were glad to see that I wasn't pushing myself, that I was taking time to get better. I do listen to my body, and if I feel like I can go, I'm going to go and do. But if I don't, I'll be the first one to tap out, you know, because I'm like, I learned a long time ago, my body is no longer 23. My mind may be, but my body, no, it's screaming at me. It's letting me know it's time to slow down. And for the better part of it, I have been slowing down, taking it easy. And I told you guys, 2026, this is my slow and steady. I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to be go, 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 go. Even though I've got more retreats scheduled this year than I have any year before. I have 2 retreats scheduled already this year. And I've got trips planned this year. And other than those 2 trips. But the other trips can be done, you know, on a weekend. They're pleasure trips. Go see my baby. My grandbaby. I was talking to my daughter-in-law tonight, and I was asking her, I just told her, I was like, you know, I made all my kids a quilt for their birthday, and I asked her what her favorite colors were. You know, because I'd like to make her a quilt, too. And she's like, well, any Halloween fabric. And I was like, baby, I don't buy Halloween fabrics. And she's like, well, I do like fall fabrics. I said, that's better. I said, because fall fabrics, I can, you know, get some good colors. She's like, well, I like forest greens. So, guys, listen, I'm telling you the colors I'm looking for. So, if y'all know a line or something that's got some really good fabrics and these colors, let me know. And I did look through some reproduction fabrics thinking maybe, you know, that would be good. But I didn't find any in the colors that she was liking. She likes the forest green and not a bright yellow, but kind of, I don't even want to say a mustard yellow. But she likes, you know, like muted orange, like the sunflower yellow, orange and orange. So I don't know. I've got to find something that she would, some colors that I think she would like. My youngest daughter's fiance, I've got to find some to make him a quilt. And my oldest daughter, I think what I'm going to do for them is to give all of them, if I can get it done this year, maybe add their quilts as quilts I'm doing during the year. Maybe I can give those to them for Christmas instead of their birthdays. I don't know. My oldest daughter, they don't really take care of their quilts. Now, my youngest daughter, I know they use theirs all the time. She uses hers, and my grandson uses his all the time. They fight over who gets to have which one. He always wants her blanket. That's what he calls it. That's her blanket. And when he gets in my truck, he's like, Gigi, my blankie. And I have a little quilt in the truck for me. So I told my daughter what I need to do is make them, all the babies, another quilt, a car quilt. And my granddaughter, I got a picture. She was at her Shug's house, which is her mom's house, her other grandma's house. And her Shug sent me a picture. She was on the floor, had her pallet on the floor with the little quilt that I made her when I found out she was pregnant. I had to tell her Shugs, if anything on that starts coming apart, let me know. I can sew it back together. Just have it sent to me. I told her, I said, because y'all got to realize, that's the first quilt I ever made. I ain't never made a quilt before that. And everybody's like, that's beautiful. That's so pretty. I can't believe that was the first one you ever made. Yep, that's the first one I ever made. I used bias tape for binding. That double fold bias tape. I used that for binding because I didn't know what in the world I was doing. I didn't know how to make binding. But it worked and it held it together. And that's all we worried about. Because that baby, she loves that quilt. And I tell you what, them quilts, you know, a lot of people would get all upset seeing a quilt rolled around on the floor. Not when that's what it's made for. I make all my quilts for my grandbabies to roll around on the floor in. And that's what they do. When they come here, they know they can grab all the quilts off the quilt racks. I have a quilt ladder in my living room. I have a quilt rack behind my recliner between my living room and my dining room. They know they can pull every quilt off of that, and I don't care. The only ones they can't touch is the one that my grandma made me. And that's the only one I don't let anybody touch. And I think the one she made me, I've shown it on the channel before. I think it was a sunbonnet. Sue, I think is what it was called. Now, my grandmother, she did everything by hand. And like her little sunbonnet Sues or whatever they were called, she cut all of that with templates and did it by hand. Every bit of it. I do want to get to where I can be doing hand quilting. Also, I want to learn how to do that. I mean, I'm sure it's just taking a needle and thread and getting your pieces together and just sewing them together with needle and thread. But friends, here I am rattling. I hope you guys are doing great. I am only going to be doing an hour tonight. I always say that. I try to keep y'all the videos less than an hour long. But I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hang. We will get as much done as we possibly can. And then we'll come back next Saturday and get more done. It looks like I may be able to get all of my A's pieces done first. Because we're doing 48 A's with E's. And we're doing top right, bottom left, E square. So that's what we're focusing on right now. And I'm getting close to being done with my stack. So once I get done, I will flip to the other corner, the opposite corner, and I will sew a square on the opposite corner. And that'll probably be as far as we get today. So what I would end up doing, you know, kind of on the back side of things over here, is trimming off and pressing. I try to do all of that, you know, kind of behind the scenes over here. And who wants to watch that? I don't know. Y'all not really watching much right now either, are you? I'm just sewing. I hope to be catching up with what I'm behind on. Let's see. I need to do my flowering block. I need to do my Yuletide sampler blocks. I need to finish those up, catch that up. Need to get ready for not this upcoming Friday, but next Friday. I need to, I've got so many things I feel like I'm behind on, which I can't think what they are right now, but, you know, and Cindy, please, I will be sending your package out. I was just hoping I was going to do that D-Stash Sunday, but guys, I was still in bed. Like today, I didn't get out of bed until 10:30, and I never stay in bed like that. But you know, I'm giving my body the rest that it's telling me it's needing. If it tells me to get up and go do something, I get up and go do something. But other than that, I'm not really pushing myself. I have so wanted to come in the sewing room, but I just knew I just did not have it to do it. But today I'm kind of doing it. I was like, nope, I want to do it. I want to get up and I want to get on this sewing. I was like, I knew I need to have this cut out, and I was like, I'm not going to fail them now. But I am getting my rest. So y'all, thank you though for all the emails. I've had several people email me because they've been very concerned because they haven't seen a video in like 5 days. Yeah, I know that's not me, but I will not be releasing videos every day of the week this year. Since December of 23, you could just about bet I was going to have a video every day. And I think I could probably count on one hand in 24 and one hand in 25 the number of days that I missed each year on one hand. And but this year, no, I'm just not going to do that. It just wears me out. Not that I don't enjoy it, but I'm having to make myself get out of my sewing room more. And, you know, because my grandbabies are getting older and they're wanting to do more things. I'm wanting to do more things with them. And we are still in the very busy season for us. My sister and I were talking about that just today, I think. Oh, no, yesterday. We were talking about how for the next 3 months they have something like every weekend. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I just cannot. I had a lot of stuff, you know, like my niece's wedding, and then we had the quilt show, but I ended up sick. But what we have, let's see, what is this weekend? my husband comes in this weekend. The whole time my husband was in, I was sick. The absolute whole time. I just stayed in bed. Which reminds me, he comes in, the day y'all are seeing this, he works off. But he will be going back on a shutdown real soon, which put him out for another month. Which reminds me, I need to do some meal prep for him, because if there's not food ready in that fridge, he decides, let's go out and eat, and I can't keep doing that. Neither can he. But what I'll probably do is bring you guys along for some of my snacks that I have found that I can eat that does not affect my sugar. I'll show you how I make them. One of the things I've already ran out, I had to go buy more of everything to make it. And this is just kind of like a snack thing. I like crunchy things. That's kind of like my snack thing that I need, is something crunchy. And it's crunchy. So it helps me. So friends, now we're starting on the other corner. And I mean, I'm just going to line it up here. I'm going to line it up with that light. And guys, so far I'm really liking this light. It's not real, it's really bright closer to me than closer to the needle. And I guess it's because I have it coming over this way. But I really need it bright closer to the needle too. Oh, my ear just popped. And that's what we think I have going on. I have lots of drainage, allergy, sinus stuff going on. I have my ears popping. I've got to go have surgery on my ear, and I just keep refusing to do it. But I keep thinking if they did surgery, my eardrum would probably blow up, because I have a hole in my ear from where I had tubes in my ears, and they fell out after 20 years. Tubes are not supposed to stay in there that long, but mine did. But my ears are constantly draining from allergies and sinuses. My ears drain like most people's nose drains. I know it's kind of yuck, huh? But it does. That's just what it does. And me being allergic to pine trees. And I know people say, well, you can't be allergic to pine tree pollen. Well, yeah, you can. It may be heavy and it may not float in the air, but it sure gets on everything. And I'm breathing that stuff in. But I'm allergic to pine trees whether they're in pollen or not. And I was around a lot of pine trees at my niece's wedding, because they were far back in the country, down just east of Pineville, Louisiana. And oh my goodness, right after I got home was when I really started feeling it. So, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just deal with it all. But now, I mean, I woke up today feeling pretty good, even though I just kind of lazed around, you know, because a week of work just wears you out. I know, this whole week I've just been, don't put that day in to have off, don't put that day in to have... Because I know exactly how many days I need to have for the retreats. Because the Casper, Wyoming retreat that I'm going to be going to, I'm taking 2 weeks off for that. Because I'm going to have like 2.5 days of driving. I'm going to spread it out 2.5 days. On the way back home, it's probably going to be a 5-day drive almost, because I'm going to possibly go to the Missouri Star quilt shop probably going to do that. I'm going to see what's on my, kind of roundabout way. Add a few stalks there. The quilted cow, I'm probably going to add that one in it too. I'm thinking about, well, I'm going to be going and staying with my son and daughter-in-law if they're not working. But if they are, well, I may still go stay with them. I may go keep my grandbaby while they work. And I may just tell them they go on and go. And me and my little girl, we will stay at the house. And we may go visit her shugs while I'm there. My daughter-in-law's mother, she and I went to high school well, she's a lot older than me. But we went to school together. The school we went to was kindergarten to 12th grade. I was probably in junior high, and she was probably in high school. But, I mean, we knew each other. We went to the same church. And then after we got older, her daughter, she lived right down the road from us. I didn't even know that's who it was that lived down there. But anyway, it would be nice to go visit. I don't get a lot of visit time in. But before my husband comes in today, that y'all are seeing this, oh, I need to get a house cleaning done. That's something else. I have not felt well enough to do anything, not even empty my dishwasher. I told my husband I was going to call my daughter's friend and tell her, please come over. I need help. And have her, rinse dishes and put in the dishwasher. I would put up the clean dishes. Get some help with the laundry and help with my bathrooms. My goodness, a house will quickly go south if you don't stay on top of it. Mine will anyway. And it has. With my husband gone, I have to tend to animals outside, and that's so hard for me to do because we have 2 dogs outside and a cat outside. The cat's not so much trouble because her food is just right in my back door. And we have a food storage container right in our back door for cat food. And so she's easy to feed. But them dogs, I just can't get in the pen because the last thing I need is to get knocked down with nobody here and break a hip. That's what happened to his mama. She got knocked down by a dog and broke her hip and leg in 3 places. I don't need that to happen to me. I definitely do not. But friends, I don't think I can say enough how excited I am to be sewing again. I really don't. I'll be happy when I can get back in my kitchen too. And I am going to be doing a pantry clean out. I may show you guys what I do because I am going to be doing some reorging in there. And no, I'm not one of these pretty frilly Amazon fine organizers. My pantry is lived out of. I mean, we cook out of the pantry. I don't have a lot of storage space in my cabinet, and I have so many cabinets, and I don't know how I could say I don't have storage space. I do have storage space, but it's not the right size. I have cooking appliances. I guess I could call them that. My Instant Pot and my Ninja Grill. Those things will not fit in my cabinets. So they have to go in my pantry. And also, like, my food processor. I don't need all that stuff on my countertop. So, I have, like, my KitchenAid countertop mixer, then my food processor. I just have a lot of things that won't go under the countertop, under the counters. Because literally, they're not wide enough for them to go under there. I do want to do some work on my cabinets, and I want to take out the center brace between my doors, and I want to put drawers in there. And I know I would have to put some 2x4 braces in there to, you know, keep the cabinet from falling. It needs some type of support. And I could do that, though. I mean, I can brace it, build a frame so it doesn't, the countertop don't collapse down. But honestly, I don't think the things make a difference. I have one cabinet in my whole kitchen that is not like the rest of them, though. All my cabinets have that strip in it where the doors come to. There's a strip in the middle of them. All of them but one cabinet has that. I don't know if that was intentional, but all but one cabinet has that. And I want it to where none of my bottom cabinets have that. I've already seen things that I want to do. Now, my husband's going to tell me, no, absolutely not. But, you know, I need to find a way where I can use all the space I have in there. And if I have drawers, because I've got stuff that gets lost in the back of the cabinet. And if I have a drawer, it won't get lost back there. Because when I pull the drawer out, I can see it. But that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do is first I'm going to start on my pantry and work on my pantry and get that done. Because I'm still, I mean, it's time to do a clean out. You know, every year or so, you know, you need to do a clean out of your pantry and make sure there's nothing in there expired and that you're eating oldest first, and, you know, things that are going to expire the fastest, you want to eat those first. And so that's what I'm doing, because I know I found a can the other day that had a pop top on it. And, you know, a lot of people, they know, yeah, canned food can go out a little while, out of expiration a little while, and it still be okay. But a pop top can should never go out of expiration. And the reason of that is because that seal on that pop top, it fails. And I can tell you that from experience. But luckily, if it does fail, you know it failed. Because it's going to come out of the can. And I had some fruit cocktail that had gotten pushed to the back. I hadn't seen it, didn't know it was in there. The pop top had failed. And it had, like, the pressure of it, I guess, it causes it. Once it loses the seal, it starts fermenting in there. And I'd been wondering, what the heck was I smelling? Well, I thought it was potatoes down in my bin. And I found a bag of potatoes, but they were technically dry. I mean, they weren't wet. They weren't smelly. But I thought that's probably what it was. So I cleaned that out. But I moved some cans about a week ago, and I found that pop top can had failed, and I had sticky from top to bottom, because that was like 2 shelves up, and it was all the way down to the bottom, to the floor. So yeah, it was a nasty mess. So that's my plan. Hopefully this weekend is to get some of that. And if I think about it, I may show y'all some of it. It's embarrassing. I can't even see the floor in my pantry because my pantry's not real big. So it has my Instant Pot. My big Instant Pot sits right on the floor in front of the door. Because literally you can stand at the door and reach in. It's a L shape. And you can reach almost all the way through the pantry standing outside the door of it. But that thing is so, that Instant Pot Rio Wide Plus, it is so huge that I just have to sit it on the floor there in front of my shelves. But guys, I am almost done with our 48 squares. And let's see. Oh, we're only 45 minutes in. Not bad. I've been able to talk this long. I'm so happy. Guys, I have felt so bad I've even missed going online to where people are live and chatting. I've not even been able to do that. And I'm pretty certain, I made a comment on this. I'm pretty certain I had the big C. And because my kidneys are hurting. Like I've drank soda non-stop for a week, but I've not had soda. But my kidneys hurt every time I had it before. And they've been hurting again this past week and a half. I am thinking that's probably what I've had, but you know, I mean, I didn't test, so I can't say for certain, but just how my body was reacting, I'm kind of thinking that's what it was. I think my kidneys started hurting a couple days ago. Could be some of the medicine I'm taking too. It's no telling. So here we are on our very last square. I'm going to call this step 1. I haven't even looked to see how many things we got to do to kind of break it down. The goal is to do 1 quilt a month. But if I don't get 1 a month done, that's okay, friends. It is absolutely okay. If you want to sew ahead, go ahead and sew ahead. If you want to take your time slower, because I'm telling y'all, the only time I will be sewing this is the hour that we come together and sew here. That is the only time I will be sewing it. So once a week, about an hour to an hour and a half a week. You know, I will be doing my pressing and my trimming off camera, so y'all won't be seeing that. But sewing time, technically about an hour every week. Now, you know, unless I have some spare time here and there, and I may have spare time now that I'm not going to be releasing videos every single day. I'll try to have a healthy amount of videos for y'all, but I may take like Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday off. And if there is a video on Tuesday and Thursday, it may be an unboxing. But as far as sewing videos, and I may do some kitchen videos. You know, you may have a video every day, but it may be kitchen videos. It may be cleaning video. No, I ain't gonna be no cleaning video. I don't like to clean. I just don't like to do it. It's a difficult task for me. But let's see, friends, that is the very first step. That's the Sunbeam block. We made our 48. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our D fabric, which is a rectangle. And we're going to be putting more of these on there. We're going to be making 48 of those also. I will have the rest of these cut hopefully by next week. Now okay, so once we get all of that done, we will assemble a corner Sunbeam unit. Okay. And of course you have 4 corner Sunbeam units. And then let's see that center part. And then we have a middle Sunbeam unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, we may be able to get this done in 5 sessions. I don't know. So I'm going to tell y'all, just sew as much as you can when you feel like it. If you want to follow along with me, I'm probably going to do a little bit extra sewing, maybe seeing that. We have a unit that needs to be done. We should have gotten it done today, but I didn't realize how much needed to be done. There's 3 steps to make that one unit. So we just did the first step. That's it. But friends, we've got 48 of our square, which I will trim these and they will look like that. We'll have 48 of those after I get all that trimmed and pressed. But friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the sew along. I will have pictures out on my Facebook group if you're interested in joining. Once I put that post out there, if you'd like to share any of your photos of the quilt that you're making with us, put it under that posting in the comments. So I will put that as a featured post so you can see that. So give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.